When you're blue and kinda lonely too, you'll find a smile will go a long, long way. Though you're down, don't sit around and frown. A little smile will go a long, long way. Never grieve, just try to make believe the sky is blue, although you know it's gray. Don't you pine, it's just a waste of time. You'll find a smile will go a long.
Welcome aboard. It's Ron and Jen's Great Escape. It's podcast number 102, and we kick it off with a visit from Hazel.
Hazel.
One of our faves, if not our fave.
She's the best.
Hazel, good girl.
Hazel, you make me smile.
She's smiling. You
She
can tell when a
is.
dog's smiling, can't you?
Right. Her breath.
I know. Well, listen, nothing I can do about that.
People, greenies.
She has
And
been
just
through
wiped
everything.
My hand, so my
She's
whole
been-
car's going to smell.
She's been through greenies, everything. Nothing can solve that.
What does
It can melt steel. What can I tell you?
Come here.
Let's start with a few local stories. Can we do that first?
Yeah, sure.
And
Which
then,
one?
Then we'll escape. Those Block Island Brouillons, I guess, were in court. We're dropping this, actually recording this kind of early this week on a Wednesday. So those guys, the principal guys, I think they're from Woonsocket,
Oh.
who caused
The Frozen North.
who caused this melee at Ballard's on Block Island, a reggae concert.
Yeah.
You know, all these arrests, and now Ballard's, their liquor license is under great scrutiny. So we'll see how. But the people who run that place don't have a lot of political juice.
That's
so.
how they make their cash.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
The
yeah.
booze,
Yeah. And, you know,
ballads.
if you've never been to Block Island, and amazingly, so many Rhode Islanders haven't, as soon as you get off the ferry,
There
you
it is.
hook a hard left, and there's Ballard's right there.
They make
with
some mean Bloody Marys.
hoisting a beverage in
Yeah.
your direction. And apparently, a lot of times, underage people have been served, so that's a big headache on the block.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Joe Rogan of the Joe Rogan Experience, which is a huge podcast.
Yes.
He was the week before this whole Ballard's melee. During his podcast, he started talking about doing the gig on Block Island 30 years ago. And he said, this is great, he goes, I think it's an island off Rhode Island, but I'm not sure. And he said...
Does it matter?
He said the audience wasn't drunk.
Details.
It didn't say the venue. It said the audience wasn't drunk. It was obliterated. And he said that, he told the guy that I guess he was doing the shtick with, and this is 30 years ago, we will never go there ever again.
Oof.
So how about that?
Wow.
So obliterated, not bombed, not cocked, obliterated.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's you're at a dinner party and someone takes a knife from you.
That's it. And so,
That actually happened to me.
even if it's plastic, they take it
That
from you.
actually happened to me. Isn't that awful?
You're kidding.
No.
When's the last dinner party you ever went to?
Well, I was in the military.
You don't like to go to dinner
No, I
parties.
don't. I was in Germany, and I think it was Christmas, and I was so hammered that they took the knife from me when I was trying to cut my ham. No, that's true. Isn't that awful?
Cut the ham.
I don't know what happened there.
I was trying to cut the ham.
I was trying. Nah, they said no. They gave me 2 forks.
We're about 4 weeks away from the primary and the silly season. And apparently, the numbers, let's take a peek at this. Poll shows voters, well, we'll get to that in a second, but are weary of that Tidewater soccer thing. We'll get into that in just a second. But WPRI, that's Channel 12, and she's going crazy over there. Roger Williams University, they did a poll, and I love the way they say this. If the Democratic primary were held today, well, it's not going to be held today. But anyway, Dan McKee would capture 28% of the primary vote. Two-term Secretary, that's our Nellie Gorbea, 25%.
Oh.
But listen, here she comes in the outside lane. Former CVS executive Helena Folks up to 14% now,
Yeah.
with a lot of time left. And here's the thing, Jen. Margin of error in this poll, 4.9%, which is a pretty wide margin of error. So that means that right now that's our Nellie and Dan McKee are neck and neck.
Well, that is going to change, and good old Nellie, that's our Nellie.
That's our
You'll
Nellie.
see her numbers dip, and you'll see Helena.
Helena Folks, I think
Helena
she's
is
coming
on
up.
the rise.
On
Yeah.
the outside, and here she
Yeah,
comes.
You're gonna.
And a lot of Scarroll.
Yeah, you're gonna see
behind
something.
her.
I mean, politically, you're going to see something special happen. And that's when people have good PR teams, that when there's a lot of outreach, when there's a lot of feet on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
Yes, in the communities, a lot of canvassing, and you're going to see her show up as the everyman at everyman events. And that's going to really make a big difference for her.
We're going to see.
Yeah.
Same poll shows that voters are very weary of public money going for that soccer stadium, that Tidewater project in the bucket in Pawtucket. $60 million in public financing for this planned soccer stadium. And you just know the costs are going to continue to go up.
Oh, yeah. They say 60. It's going to be 90.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
so could this be our new big dig? We think the Superman building's going to be a big dig. This could be. We'll see. When they were asked whether they supported public funding for the soccer stadium, 44% of the voters said hell no. Now, could that be McKee's kryptonite? Because he was the deciding vote.
Yeah.
To push that thing forward, and the candidates did pile on him recently about that, so that's one to watch.
I don't know that it's a particular issue for McKee. That's the problem. I think McKee is McKee's problem. He's not a good politician. He does not. I don't think he connects well with average, the blue collar workers out there. I think that everybody sees him as filler. It's sort of like the Downer Channel
Spackle?
was during the summer season. I mean, here you have these shows that come in the summer and they just fill up the holes for the big guns. And he doesn't excite me. He doesn't even interest me.
This poll,
Do you know?
Same poll, though, his favorability was 54%, but that's no guarantee.
That's name recognition.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that
that's straight name recognition.
And that's what Helena Folks is catching up on
That's
with
right.
all the money that she's throwing out there
She's got
to
some
get her name
really
out there.
positive ads, I think, that represent her well. I think that really make an impact.
And she can sell herself as a political outsider still.
Yes, and the thing is, when her ads come on, for some reason I stop and I look. I do. I watch, because it's not like, Klaus or what's her name?
Kalis.
Klaus, same thing.
The Republican.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, she's just there, and
Jen's the deer in the headlights when Helena Folks spots run. It's like,
yeah, I do. I stop and I want to listen to what she has to say.
Okay, well
and that's the thing. I want to listen. That doesn't mean I would vote for her, but I want to listen. To
there's still an enormous amount of undecideds, so this could swing. Plus, it's at 4.9%.
Klaus.
Yeah. Klaus. Kalis. It's Kalis, all right? It's Kalis.
See?
She's
that's
the-
how effective she is.
She's the boxer.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying. That's how effective she is, the Klaus.
Klaus.
Santa Claus. Wasn't that the year without the Santa Claus?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Klaus was... that's who he pretended to be when he went into the community as Santa Claus, Mr. Klaus.
Mr. Klaus.
Yeah.
Hey, our good pals at Wallet Hub have come out with another survey.
course
The
they
best
did.
states to live in. How about that? The
Gee, I
best
guess we're not
states
on that list.
to live in. Top 10 states best to live in. Massachusetts, number 1. Right out of the gate, I say, this has no credibility.
no.
Number 2 is New Jersey.
Why? Why
Come
would
on.
you ever... New Jersey's a dump.
It is a dump.
It's a dump.
It's on fire. It's a dump.
It's a dump.
Rhode Island ranked 38th, which isn't too bad considering it's a Wallet Hub poll.
Massachusetts is number 1.
Massachusetts
You
is
gotta
number
be
1.
kidding me. It
I-
couldn't be
isn't that
like
something
Tennessee or Wyoming
Isn't
or
that
Montana.
something? Hey, we want to say thank you to our sponsors, O'Hara Senior Care Services. If you've got an elderly relative, maybe even it's mom and dad, and they're reaching out to you because they need help, maintaining their
It's hard.
independence and staying in their own homes,
hard.
we both know it's real hard. O'Hara Senior Care Services, the way to go. Brenda Lee O'Hara will customize what you need. Might be something heavy duty, might be something light, just like trash pickup and friendship. So set it up at 401-345-1811. That's 401-345-1811. Also, Greg's Restaurants and Pubs in Providence, East Providence, Warwick, and North Kingstown. Beautiful new outdoor dining deck in the North Kingstown location, perfect for a little cocktail on the way home from the beach.
Cupcake?
Little nosh cupcakes, the size of my head.
Yeah.
Greg'sUSA.com is the website, and also Operation Stand Down.
Operation Stand Down, helping veterans all over Rhode Island. I can tell you firsthand because they helped me. And if you need any help at all with housing, employment, basic needs, and really important, your VA disability benefits, all you need to do is give them a shout, and you can find them at osdri.org. They're terrific, they care, and they will help you.
Good people, good people. Before we swing into Jen's news, How about this? To-be parents are Googling these names to see if they're socially acceptable.
Karen.
Check these out. Ready? Some of the most popular names spiking parents' curiosities include Zelda. That's not bad.
Zelda.
Zelda Fitzgerald. I mean, it goes back to the Roaring 20s. Shrek. Somebody wants to name their kid Shrek.
Well, I'm not surprised. People are smoking a lot of weed these days.
Barbie.
Batman.
You want to name the kid Batman?
Come on, this is not a real story.
Cinderella. And somebody wants to name their child 11.
How about Bozo?
11.
How
Bozo.
about Nimrod?
Bozo
Kilroy.
is a no-no.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you one thing when it comes to these names. You name your child any of these names, you might be able to get away with Zelda and Barbie. But the rest of these, kid's going to get the bejesus beaten out of him, and all of his lunch money is going to be taken away. Her lunch money, too, when they go to break and they go out there to have recess.
Imagine if your wife's name was Zelda. Would that have been attractive to you?
I like that name.
Zelda.
It's a good name for...
Do you have my dip ready?
That's a good name for a dog.
Yeah,
Zelda.
well, yes, not a wife.
No. Zelda.
Yes. Hey, by the way, did you see that baby that looked like Woody Harrelson?
I
Did you
did.
see that? That is hilarious. They look exactly alike.
Kind of eerie,
A
actually.
newborn looks just like Woody Harrelson as he is now.
It was kind of eerie, I thought.
It's super cute. Maybe we'll post that on Ron and Jen's Greatest.
What did Eckersley say? And last night,
It's a hodgepodge of nothingness.
he called the Pittsburgh Pirates lineup a hodgepodge of nothingness.
I like that.
The Red Sox suck. You know,
Breaking news.
well, they should just.
Are they going to get a wild card spot?
They're still in it, but I mean, would that be 3 and done anyway?
Somebody call Steve Kaz. The bullpen needs him.
That's it. That's it.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, how about that woman
I
who
would
was
watch that
the woman
game.
who was 101 and threw out the pitch in the Seattle Mariners game? The Sox signed her for the bullpen shortly thereafter.
I'd watch that too.
I love Eckersley. I'm going to miss him. He's going to be retiring.
Wait,
He's been in the game 50 years. He wants to spend more time with his family and his grandkids.
How old is he now?
Eck is my age. Eck is
that's young.
Eck's 67.
Yeah, so what's he going to do? Just sit on the beach and...
He's going to hang out with his family. He's a recovering alcoholic and a drug addict.
that.
Oh yeah.
You got to get him
Yeah.
on the show.
Yeah. Eck, I love Eck.
Why don't you send him an email?
Maybe I will.
He knows who you are.
You're right.
Send him an email and tell him to come on with us.
He might know who I was. That's a whole separate. That's a
listen.
whole different kettle o' fish.
Your latter days are going to be better than your former days. This is what we're promised by the Almighty. I'm holding on to that. That is true.
Up there.
That's right.
All right, let's turn
Hey.
our attention to Jen's News.
Jen's News.
Which is the fastest growing whatever it is in the United States of America.
It's like an STD. It's just getting passed around.
It's like something on the bottom of your shoe.
Yeah, it's like mold.
It is.
It grows on you. Maybe the STD wasn't a good.
So do warts.
Can you grab the Nana?
So do warts.
Jen's
Yeah,
food.
sure.
Oh, warts. Jen's News. I've never had warts. Not anywhere. Thank God.
Here.
Not on my hand and not elsewhere.
Look at that. Nana looks
Not
like
the Jen's News.
Nana looks like she has warts all over her noggin.
America's favorite segment.
Did you know that Nana was a female? Nana's female.
I assume that. You know, my cockapoo Kenny had warts.
Yes, I remember Kenny.
Remember Kenny?
Yes,
He
Kenny.
had he had an outbreak, and
Yep.
I had to put him down. That was sad.
I liked Kenny.
I love country western Kenny too. America's favorite segment. It's time for Jen's.
News excellent.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. That's right. How about this? I never thought that I would ever say that Cheerios, Ron, hey, they're better for you than eggs.
I'm not buying that.
You know, a new study from Boston researchers suggests that a bowl of Cheerios could be a better breakfast than eggs and coffee. Researchers studied how various foods. Maybe we should call up Liz Bonus, your old pal. Right? She's the medical expert.
That's true.
Researchers studied how various foods were linked to chronic disease and gave foods a ranking between 0 and 100. Healthier foods had higher scores. An egg omelet, 51. How about that? Cheerios came in at 95. 95, like that's healthy.
And Cheerios are little zeros.
Yeah, but they were weren't they contaminated with something?
No,
a
that
couple
was Lucky
years ago?
Charms.
I don't know.
Most recently.
Are you sure?
Yeah, most recently it was Lucky Charms. It could be. I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't eat cereal. I wouldn't know.
Raspberries and vegetable curry both had perfect scores of 100. A McDonald's cheeseburger scored an 8. That's a
that
good-
doesn't surprise me.
Hey, that's a good breakfast if you're hungover.
Oh,
FBI,
my God.
how about this? You know, Alec Baldwin says.
Oh, my Lord.
Alec Baldwin. Remember the whole Russ story? And I mean, a
Sad.
lot of you have the attention span like myself of a gnat, and you probably forgot about this. But Alec Baldwin shot a gun that killed somebody on set of
Yes.
a film he was working on in
Supposed
Canada.
to be a prop. It was
Right, it was
supposed
supposed to be a prop. It wasn't. Boom, he shot her. She's dead. And FBI came in. They had to do the reports. They said the trigger had to be pulled in order to fire that weapon. But
And who had the gun?
Alec Baldwin, but he's saying, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I did not pull the trigger, even though forensics say he did.
My dog did it.
Right. Well, no, he actually said, we all know who really pulled the trigger on
Really?
that set. You know what he's saying is that the armor, the person who was
Right.
in charge, that young lady,
Right.
is really the one to blame.
But she
Anyway,
didn't physically pull the trigger.
No, he did. He
Right.
pointed it at her
Yeah.
and pulled the trigger.
Yep.
And then he also says she told him to. The girl who was shot and killed.
Really?
Anyway, the FBI forensic analysis obtained by ABC News last week said that he did pull the trigger, but Baldwin said he did not. He was on a podcast, and he was once again claiming his innocence. So,
Madness.
just so you know.
Madness.
The actor's lawyer says there's more detail in the report that needs to be shared.
Sell crazy someplace else, Alec. We're all stocked up here.
Well, how about this? You talk about crazy. You know how we talked about, let's pimp our little radio show for a second.
All right, every Friday afternoon,
Yeah,
2
it's
till
good.
4.
You should tune in. It's
2
really good.
until 4 on 1540 WADK, and you can listen to it, stream it everywhere at WADK.com.
Which is what everybody does anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Nobody listens
That's
to the radio. They
bad,
listen
no.
on their phones and iPads.
None of that terrestrial stuff.
On their
No.
their watches.
Yeah.
So WADK.com last week on our show from 2 to 4 on Fridays.
Yeah.
We talked about movies that you should never ever touch for remake, like
Don't remake
Jaws. You're never going to remake
No,
Jaws.
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the. Why would you ever remake Psycho though?
Well, they did, and it was
I
terrible.
know they did, with
and of
Anne
course,
Heche,
with the late
God
Anne
rest.
Heche. And I'll give you another one. Citizen Kane. You're not going to remake Citizen Kane.
Somebody will.
No, not yet.
Guess what they're doing? And we even mentioned this one.
This is so stupid.
They see now when they're not. It's not a remake.
No.
This is what they're calling. They're saying they're going to reimagine
Reimagine.
The Wizard of Oz. What does that mean, Ron?
Wokeness.
Yes, that means that they're going to bring it into modern day. And so Dorothy will probably be, I don't know,
Asian.
Asian or African American or
Right.
Hispanic.
Right.
The only person that will be white will be the witch, the Wicked Witch, and her name will be Karen. Right? You know that.
But she's green.
Yeah, no, but she'll end up being white. They're gonna make it. They're gonna reimagine it. She won't
Oh,
be
the
white.
Wayans brothers are going to play her.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't even know. So anyway, Warner Brothers has given Blackish creator Kenya Barris the green light to write and direct a modern reimagining of The Wizard of Oz.
Oh my. Oh my.
He's saying, or she is, I actually don't know who this person is. Barris, we'll say that, is keeping the creative details of his version quiet for now. He's currently in post-production of a feature directorial debut, and that's called You People.
Too bad Chuck Barris wasn't still alive and with us, because the creator of the Gong Show. I would have given him the keys to this.
I
This is
mean-
insipid. It's stupid. The only thing I hope, if you're going to reimagine
Yeah.
the whole thing, don't reimagine the movie. Reimagine L. Frank Baum's novel,
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Don't reimagine the movie. Reimagine the
Well,
the
why?
book.
Why did see the thing is I know that somebody watching might say, "Oh, it's easy for white people to say." Listen, it's a classic, and you just
Leave
don't.
well enough.
There are just some
alone.
things that you just don't reimagine because they stand alone.
That's right.
And you just don't taint it. You
Nope.
don't. It has nothing to do with whiteness or anything.
Don't
and
mess with it.
It has more to do with this woke crap
Yep.
that's
exactly.
going on in the world
Exactly.
that is causing, insanity everywhere. And
We're off to see the wizard.
yeah,
Not me.
That's
not
about
me.
that's about it.
By the way, I wrote about that, and you wrote about Elvis in Addiction in our most recent column on rinewstoday.com. I wrote about this Wizard of Oz
did you really?
reimagining.
See, I didn't read your stuff.
No, you only read your stuff.
Well, I don't even read it. I just write it and send it. I just write it and send
You
it.
know what
don't
I said
you
about
write.
this, though? I said you should listen to the great philosopher Popeye, who said in one of his cartoons, "I know my stuff, and I'm smart enough to leave well enough alone." That's what I said about the reimagining of the Wizard of Oz.
And the thing is, and people, people have said this to me, and I have listened to these conversations, and it makes perfect sense. It's kind of like would you reimagine Good Times with an all-white cast?
No.
Right. I mean, you just don't do it.
No.
And, I mean, you don't reimagine white chicks and call it black chicks.
No.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get away with it, for one
right.
thing.
Well, that's the thing, that anything that happened to be white can be reimagined, but anything, this is what people say, that anything that happens to be, other than that, like George Lopez, you're not going to put a white family in where there's, Hispanic,
No.
Culture and going ons in his family. You're not going to call it, George what?
O'Brien.
Yeah, you're just not going to do it.
All right, finally in Jen's news, and then I'm going to have a brouillon.
Finally?
A brouillon of the week.
In
Yeah.
Jen's news,
Yes, that means wrap it up.
I'm done.
Oh, you are done. Okay.
I'm done. Finally.
Here's a brouillon.
As though it went on too long. It should go on longer.
I got a brouillon for you. All right. Major League Baseball suspended Pittsburgh Pirates, and what's their lineup? A collection of.
It's a hodgepodge of nothingness, according to Dennis Eckersley.
They suspended second baseman Rodolfo Castro for one game. I don't know if you did you see this video? It's great. He had his cell phone in his back pocket during a game last week. He slid into third head first, and the cell phone came flying
He must
out.
have forgot it.
The cell phone, that's what he said. Cell phone came flying out. MLB's cracked down on technology use by players in the wake of the Houston Astros cheating scandal. So he's fighting his suspension.
Wait a minute.
As we speak.
Not one coach saw the bulge in his backside.
Oh, as soon as he slid into
this
soon
is
as
what
he
I'm
slid
saying.
into third, the third base coach looked down, and the umpire calls him safe. The umpire looks down, looks at the player, looks at the coach, points down, and this guy Castro's like, wah wah.
Yeah, but how about when he's up at the plate, or how about when he's taking his warm-up swing?
Hard to believe that he couldn't feel that he still had his
It's
cell
hard to
phone
believe
in
that
his
nobody
hip
saw
pocket.
a big square thing on his ass.
What a brouillon!
I'll say.
All right,
Hey,
now,
wrap up, Ron.
You can wrap it up now while I get the instrument ready.
The instrument. Oh, we're back to that?
Yes.
Have we been back to that?
See,
it's not as though
we skipped the 100th.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I don't read your stuff because it's so awesome. I know it's always. I know it's always good. So
You
why?
can't shine horse poop, Brian. It's
I
too
wa-
late.
All right. Hey, listen. If you're like me and you like to eat food, bad food for you in the middle of the night, this is a big problem for me. You might be interested to know that ice cream isn't that bad for you. A new study shows that ice cream is healthier than granola. Hey, so forget grabbing the rice cakes and the granola at 11 p.m. Grab some Ben & Jerry's. A new study from Tufts University shows that ice cream is healthy. Researchers looked at over 8,000 different foods
8,000.
and drinks over a 3-year period, and they looked at 54 different attributes, and using cutting-edge science to rank them, hey, they said that is just a fact. Ice cream is much healthier for your innards and your thighs than granola. Oh, another surprising result, an egg omelet. Oh, I just told you that is not as good for you as Cheerios.
Wait.
Yeah.
Like that?
Is that it?
I think a little pee just came out.
Are we done?
We are done.
Well, that's why I wear poise pads.
Be nice to each other. Thank you, O'Hara
yet.
Senior Care Services. You can reach Brenda Lee O'Hara at 401-345-1811. Greg's Restaurants and Pubs. Check them out at gregsusa.com. And our good
Operation
friends
Stand
at Operation Stand Down RI. You can reach them at
OSDRI.org.
and follow us. Not too closely, because we'll have you arrested, but follow us.
Oh, maybe you'll be
nonetheless.
trespassing.
You could be trespassing. Who knows?
Maybe you set it up to
Yeah.
get some free press.
Maybe. But,
What a loser.
But anyway, follow us Fridays, 2 until 4 p.m. on 1540 WADK and WADK.com. Folks.